Hi, and welcome to sort of the first lesson here that we have, Chapter 1 in Management 3800 about leadership. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about what are essentially the families of leadership theories. And there are 5 of them that I look at. Now, a lot of them overlap and stuff, but these are not theories of leadership. These are families of theories of leadership. These are basic core assumptions or paradigms about leadership, ways we think about leadership. And so you can take each of the readings from this class and sort of plug them in to one of these families, one of these sets of assumptions, and know a whole lot about how leadership works. Well, the first one, and I'm going to draw on the wall over here just a little bit, but the first one is, you see I've got this little king here, I've got our leader here, and he's got some legs, he's got some arms, and he's got a big smile on his face, a couple eyes and a nose, but he's also got a crown on his head. You can tell I'm a lousy drawer, but a crown on his head. And why does he have a crown on his head? Because the first theories of leadership were divine right. You know where I'm going on this. Monarchs, okay? Kim Jong-un, people who are born to be leaders. Not born to be leaders, really, but born into leadership. And the assumption was that you were born into this, that whatever it was, if you're born a serf, you're a serf. If you're born a doctor, you're a doctor. If you're born a peasant, you're born a peasant. But if you're born a king, you are a king. And even if you're a despotic, evil person, you're a king. And that's where Kim Jong-un is. You know, he's just that descendant of now the 3rd dictator in Korea, in North Korea. And so Kim Jong-un theory of leadership is really that divine right, that I was born into it. Well, from that we realized, you know, there are a lot of people who work around kings, who are part of society that are really good people. They're great people. And so then it became the emergence of the great man theory of leadership. Now, understand, we're talking about great man theory of leadership here because they were mostly men. Occasionally, Joan of Arc would come along and be deemed a leader, but they were mostly men. Great men, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Thomas Edison, Cicero, Plato. We had great men, and we studied Napoleon as a great man. And so, over here again, great man theories of leadership. This is sort of the second family of leaders. These are what great men do. Hold it. Great men. Let's study great men. And so, you know, this is round about really 100 years ago, we started to say, it's not just great men, but let's study the traits of great men. Maybe all of us have some greatness in us. And so we started to look in the traits, or what is in the head and in the heart of a leader. What's in the head and the heart? What do you have with you? What do you carry with you that makes you a great leader? What traits, characteristics do you have? Doesn't that feel good? You know, gee, we can all be leaders and we all have certain traits, and some of us have the traits of being a leader. And so we can identify you as a leader. We even see trait theory today because you go in to some companies still actually do this. They give you a test, a psychological test, and they think that here's one famous question. If you were an animal, what animal would you be? And if you pick a deer, then you're low on the food chain and you're not going to be a great leader. But if you pick a lion or a cougar or an eagle or something like that, then it means something. Then you have the traits of a good leader. Foolish pseudoscience. But still, we have those embedded in our minds that those traits are ways that we can become great leaders. Insufficient, right? There's another group out here that says, okay, it's not in the traits, it's not in the head and the heart, and it's not in the divine mind, and it's not in the great man, it's in the behavior. Behavior. It's in what leaders do. What do leaders actually do? So if you understand what leaders do, then you know what leadership is. And so behavioral theories of leadership emerge. And guess what? That tells us something. We can train leaders. We can take anyone and turn them into a leader. And so I've done literally hundreds of programs in corporations where they're training leaders, where they train you as a beginning manager and a middle manager and then into leadership, and they do strategic thinking, all of these things that they think they can train you to do. And so it becomes part of the behavior. The fifth one now is the process theory of leadership. And that's where people say, you know, it's not so much the right? It's not the great man. It's not the traits, and it's not necessarily the behavior. But can you manage the whole process? Can you do the whole package? Can you see the whole big thing? Can you see over the horizon? Can you see things that other people can't see? And if you can do that, you're a leader.